Today is Friday, August 1st, 2025, and it is Yom Shishi, 6th day of the week, the 7th day of Av, and 5785, Parshat Devarim, the Torah portion of Devarim. We entered Deuteronomy, the book of Deuteronomy this week, and it is Rosh Chodesh Av was last week, and we entered a new dispensation in the PL-89 calendar. This is the PL-89 calendar, a lunar, solar, Julian, and Daf Yomi calendar based on planet Mercury, the time that is, and the time the published data says that Mercury revolves around the sun in about 88 of our Earth days. And this is about that time. The amount of boxes that you're looking at are 80, but there's an invisible 10 days, so 80, which is a maximum of 90 or 91 days. But 88 is close enough to 90, that 88 or 87 days is about 3 months. So that's where the Mercury comes in. It's also a Daf Yomi calendar. So started this calendar about 13 years ago, around August of 2012, and I think it was Rosh Chodesh Elul, so it's probably closer to September, and it started in September, and now the counting starts from August. So the first box here is 8. And the reason that it's 8 is not because 8 is the 8th month, although that's the interesting connection, that in this dispensation it happens to be that the first box, 1 is 8 and 8 is 1, so August is the 8th month of the Gregorian calendar. But the reason that it's 8 is based on a verse in Leviticus chapter 25, verse 20. It's interesting, same digits as 2025, and this is the year that this is being presented after 13 years. But 8 is the first box there, and you'll see the next one is 17. So 8 plus 9 is 17, and 17 plus 8 is 25, and 25 plus 9 is 34, and 34 plus 8 would be 42. It is 42, but the cutoff point is 40, so it resets at 40, and there's a reason for that. The reason that it's 8 and 9 is based on verse in Leviticus concerning the sabbatical year, which I won't go into right now, although I have in the past and most likely will in the future. So it goes 2, 11, and then 19 and 28. It's just adding 8 and 9 and 8 and 9 continually until 40 resetting, and with 2 basic months, and each month is 40 days. You have 40 and 40. That's 80 days. And then there's something called the 10-day twilight period, which is under here, 10 days between each season. So these 90 days are also a significant period of time. Everything is sourced from the Bible. The 90-day period is a period of 3 months, and this is concerning the first Redeemer. And as the first, so the last. And the first Redeemer, Moses of blessed memory, Moshe Rabbeinu, it says in Exodus chapter 2, during the time that Pharaoh was killing all the newborns, boys, it says that after his mother hid him for 3 months, the verse in Hebrew is Shlosha Yerachim, 3 months. Vatitz Penegu Shlosha Yerachim. And these 3 months, and after that, she made a little ark, little basket, and sent him on the river, and the rest is history, as they say. Or you can read about it in Exodus. But so that's the reason for this. This has to do with the Redeemer. It has to do with that time period. And there's a reason why it was 3 months, and the redemption. And the principle of this calendar, being it's a lunar and solar calendar, is energy. energy can come from many different places. And this is going to a subtle, I think it's a very subtle form of energy, although maybe it's not that subtle, but it's the energy that comes from the relationship of numbers. It's mental energy, and this mental energy is might be, the way I'm using it, synonymous with something like frequency or resonance, the way something vibrates. And that's what I mean in this case when I say energy. And specifically when I say energy from the frequency of numbers is the lunar and solar equation within this calendar. What I mean is that the Hebrew calendar is a lunar calendar, and it is connected to the sun as well. It's a lunar and solar calendar, but the Gregorian calendar is a solar calendar, and this holds them both in balance. It holds the sun in balance with the moon. And numerically speaking, and what I'm trying to derive the energy from that is the distance or the difference between the two. For example, if today is August 1st, there's an energy of August 1st. And if today is the 7th day of Av, there's an energy of 7th of Av. One represents the sun and one represents the moon. But there's a difference between the two. It's a +6 because there's 6 points, 6 numbers between them. And that, my thesis, I haven't fully proved it yet, but I'm working this thesis over many years, is that there is actually an energy and a meaning and something that can be used or harnessed or utilized based on that understanding of the distance of the sun and the moon that we can observe on our calendars today. And that observation happens within the PL-89 calendar. This is where it happens. So, today, in terms of the sun, the box number is 8. And in terms of the moon, the box is 19. If I remember correctly, I think the word in Hebrew, the gematria, the word Rosh Chodesh, is 819. So I make a sort of big deal about the Rosh Chodesh August. Usually Rosh Chodesh is like of a Hebrew month, but if it's the first day of the Gregorian month, it also means something. And so right now, see, in July/Tammuz, which we left, although we're still in the Tammuz season, but we left July Tammuz, and now we're in August. But for the past 2 months, we were in one frequency. For June/Sivan, it was a +4 reality, which means if you went to June 10th, it would have been the 14th of Sivan. Yeah, because Shavuot was the 6th of Sivan, and that was on June 2nd. So 2 + 4 is 6. So all of Sivan, starting from June 2nd, was a +4, and all of July was a +4. But now we're entering into a +6. And what is sought or to observe in this calendar is what is the energy of a +6 versus a +4. And this year we had some very interesting configurations of a +0, and that's very rare, even once a year. It happens only once every few years, and this year it happened twice within a month of each other, 2 months of each other. January and March were +0, which means that January 15th was the 15th of Tevet, and then February was a +2, and then March was also +0. So this year must be a very unique year. The last time that happened, that was a +0, or the Hebrew day was the same as the English day, the sun was the same as the moon. That happened 5.5 years ago, in September of 2019, where, let's say, the 10th of Elul would have been the 10th of September. And so I don't know how often or how not often that happens, but it doesn't happen every year. It might happen every few years. And so those are some basic ideas of the PL-89 calendar for today.